Now that we have the laundry room finished and the kitchen looks good, the breakfast looks good, we can continue to work on it. You have in your library, you have architecture component. I think it's CLO. Yeah, closet hangers on a pole, which is adjustable, which is nice. So we'll just put those in. Just put it right there. And then I will move it just to keep some precision there. And then it's adjustable. So we just grab the end of it, bring it back to there. I want one on the other side. I'm going to flip it around the door, assume that the door might be in the right location. It looks like it is. So now I've got my closet with a shelf above and some hangers here. But I still intend to put some sort of a bench here. So you walk in, you come in, you sit down on the bench, take off your boots, your jacket, whatever. Put on your house shoes or slippers or whatever, but you have something to sit on, which would be nice. And maybe we'd put some hooks above there to hang some jackets. In other cases, might be lockers there for the kids' stuff. So now we've got that in. Now let's put in our powder room here. I'm just pause there for a second to think, do I want the countertop here with the sink in it, or do I want the countertop here with the sink in it? And I think it would be nicer, I think, to walk in and see the countertop here. So let's try that. Architecture component. We're gonna just click on that image, and in the search button or search box, which the Revit defaults, it's already put your cursor there. It's thinking that you will search for something. So I'll TOI for toilet, and sure enough, I have a toilet. If we put the toilet here, that might be a little too tight. So I'm going to hit the space bar and rotate it around, and I'll put the toilet there. I'm not real excited about that. So what other options do we have? Well, we can extend this out another foot, maybe this way. That makes this closet deeper. But it might make this a little bit better. Let's play around. We just look at things. Now I can put the toilet here, architecture component. And I can put the toilet on this wall. Needs to be a minimum, I think, of 18 inches. So I think it's less than 18 inches, but let's do that anyway. So the center of the toilet to the wall is 18 inches. I like this better. What I don't like is the closet got a little bit deeper than it needs to be. So if I had laid this out first, then I wouldn't have to go back and redo my laundry room. The only other thing is we could push that wall back, but there's no purpose for that. So I think we'll just keep a little deeper closet. Yeah, it's a foot deeper than it needs to be. No one would complain about that. If this were a real project, I would probably make the laundry room a little bit bigger, but we're going to leave it at that. Let's put the closet hangers, and let's see. So I'll type CLO again for the closet hangers. Just put it in. Let's see if we can hit the space bar and rotate it. Okay, that looks good. Notice I don't even try to get it close because I want precision. And so I can go just tell Revit to move it from where, this corner, to where, this corner. Okay, and then all I need to do is adjust the depth of this. Looks pretty good. Okay, well, we've done countertops before. Let's do another. Architecture component. model in place, casework, okay, whatever it defaults to is fine. Extrusion, let's look at the constraints. 3 feet is the top, 2 feet 10 is the bottom, the right material. We'll draw a rectangle and we'll just start right here and we'll come over to here. And then if I click on this, I should be able to just say 2. Yep, it worked. So the countertop was bigger than it should be. By just clicking on this, I have an active dimension, which I changed to 2. And I like what I see. And I like what I see. So now what we're going to do is put in the sink, architecture, component. Click on the image there, SINK. We'll search for sink. Let's see what we have. Here's a nice round vanity sink, 19 by 19. It's facing the wrong way, so I hit the space bar, rotate it around. I'm going to leave it here for a second and move the section that goes right through it just to see. I think there's an issue. Go to view with the height of that guy. And sure enough, I am correct. We'll use the align tool, modify tab, align, and the top of the countertop would be the bottom of the lip of the sink. And now we can go back to the plan view, and just using the arrow keys, I'll nudge that sink to approximately where I want it to be. Looks good right there. Double check to make sure that it's centered, exactly centered. So I'm going to dimension to, you can go, you don't necessarily have to go in order with your selection. So I'll just click it right there. I'm looking for the equal button. Okay, it's equal. If I hit, then I'll just delete it. It's going to say unconstrained, which is fine. Now it's time to cut that countertop. This countertop, I'm going to make it just a floating countertop, so there'll be no cabinets underneath it. So let's change the depth of that countertop. So I'm going to click on it, and instead of being 2 inches thick, I'm going to make it 1 foot thick. Okay, so it starts at 2 feet off of the floor and it goes up to 3 feet. Okay, so I like that better. Let's look at what I just did. What I'm going to explain what I just did. So I'm going to hit the house icon to see this in 3D, and I'll expand my crop region here so that you can see the bathroom. And then I'm clicking on the countertop because I want Revit to rotate about that object, and holding the shift key down and then pushing the wheel of the mouse down. And you can see that that countertop now is a lot thicker, but that's all it is. There won't be anything underneath it. So that looks good. Back to the first floor. I want to cut this countertop. So click on it, edit in place, create, void form, void extrusion. I'm going to say pick a line, and that line I'm going to say offset a 1/2 inch, 0.5 inches from the line that I pick. So watch what happens here. I'm going to pick this line. So I'm a 1/2 inch bigger. You can see that, maybe you can see that dash line, and I'm a 1/2 inch bigger and a 1/2 inch bigger. Oops, and make sure your mouse is just a little bit on the side that you want that offset to be. So I got most of it, but here I need a straight line. So I'm just going to say draw a line, make sure that the offset is 0. Come across from the end of this one to the end of this one. I want to change this now so that it is 2 feet, because I want to cut through the entire thickness of this extrusion, the countertop. Say okay with the green check mark, cut, and accept it. Let's go back to that 3D view. You can see now that I've cut a sink through the entirety of the countertop. And then we're going to do something cool, which never ceases to amaze me, the processing power. Hit the save. I'm going to put a mirror in here on this wall. Architecture, component, model in place. We'll still call it casework. okay. We're going to do an extrusion. I'll use a rectangle to draw it. From where? From that corner over to here. And I'll click on this guy and change this thickness to 3/4 of an inch. That might be a little thicker than most mirrors are. Let's take a look at, we'll say okay to that, but let's take a look now. What's the material? Well, let's click on those three little dots, and we're going to make the material a mirror. So we'll search MIRROR. What do we have? We have a mirror. So I'll say okay to that. And what's my thickness? Well, let's go all the way up to 7 feet. And we'll start at the top of the countertop. So it'll start at 3 feet and go all the way up to 7. The material is mirror. I will apply it and say, okay. Let's look at that 3D view again. Now you can see it's just a black object right now, but it actually reflects. If we rendered this right now, it would reflect the whatever a mirror would normally reflect. And I think that that is an incredible power of Revit. So I rendered it. You can see the mirror now. It's reflecting the sink, and it's reflecting whatever else is behind it. Also here you can see the closet, shelf, hanger rod, and hangers that we put in a little bit before. And so I just wanted to illustrate the way that this mirrors actually whatever it can see on the other side. Is, to me, it's really quite amazing. One of the great powers of Revit. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you just have it in, what do I have this set at? Consistent colors? No, I guess I had it set to realistic. Anyway, that's what that looks like. We've done the powder room now. I really think we should flip that. Yeah, I want to walk out in a little bit more private area, so I'll just take this guy, move him over there. Take this guy, move him over here. Double check my dimension again here. It should be 18 inches is not, I think you can be less than that, but 18 inches is a nice space. The door probably opens the wrong way, so we'll flip it. And then we'll use the arrow keys to move the door opening over there. We don't need that dimension anymore, so we'll delete it. So while it's saving, look at what we've got now. We're starting to define it and refine it a little bit more. So the next thing is, how do we get into this closet? Well, let's measure what the distance is. 9 feet. So if we put in some 3-foot doors, a double 3-foot door, then that might work. Architecture, doors. Let's see if we have a double door. Double doors, 68 inches. All right, we'll put that in and we can change it maybe. So we click on the object, edit the type, duplicate it. We're going to make it 72 inches, which would be 6 feet. We'll get rid of the 2, which Revit adds automatically, by 80 inches tall. Maybe we should make it 84 because all the other doors are 84. Okay, so now we have to change the dimensions of the door. The width is 6 feet now, and the height is, what did we say, 84 inches. Okay, say okay to that. That looks good. Now we have the entry to the closet. We can reach in and put our stuff there. How do we get into the office? Well, I think we might want to, let's get in the office over here. So let's architecture, door. Maybe we do those double doors again. Let's do down here you have your most recently used when you click on that icon there. And we'll use the same thing. We'll use them again and see how that works out. That works out pretty good, I think. Save it. So I don't think we're missing anything. Things look good. Maybe we'll put in a fireplace in there somewhere. I guess we put that on this wall here. But for now, that's the next step. We're just fine tuning, making sure everything works. We made this a little bit bigger. I like what I'm seeing. I hit the save button again. It's never a bad idea. And we'll stop here.